Hello everyone, I'm Danielle from Cageless Readings. So despite what this may look like, this is not a love reading. Today's card reading is focused around just what you all are needing to hear right now. Where are you headed? Advice from your guides and angels. The energy I got for the collective for this week was that people might be struggling a little bit, feeling a little busy, chaotic, and needing a little more self-care and self-love. So I was out in the garden today and I was looking at one of the roses and I touched it and it just exploded. So then I thought, you know what, I'll take all these petals and I'll put it in the card reading today. So that's where these petals came from. And then it really just felt good with the energy of needing self-care and self-love. And then I felt really called to put the candles in. So I'm feeling like some of you might be cutting yourself short on maybe some nice baths or some night reading that you normally like doing, or just any basic self-care, self-love routines that you normally really enjoy doing. So here's a reminder to you all, if you've been feeling chaotic and a little out of your sorts. So I'm not too sure what to expect from each pile. I did pull some cards from the Abundance deck just to see what was going on for you all. Some from Louise L. Hayes' card deck about just what's coming in, what's manifesting in, as well as some cards from a Moonology deck as well, on what cycle you're in right now, what energy you are in right now, and where you're headed. And then just a theme, which is the card you can see just underneath all these crystals here for each one. So for pile 1, it's an etched crystal that's on top. I also felt like going for some big crystals today. So a lot of energy here. So pile 1 will be this card and it says silence. Pile 2 is this piece of Labradorite, and the card underneath says wait. Pile 3 is this cluster of amethyst, and the card underneath it says passion. Okay, so if you've never done a pick a card before, the best thing to do is to ground yourselves, to take 4 deep breaths. If you're wanting to do it quickly, I like to visualize breathing in light from above my head, down through my nose to my core, my center, and then I breathe out my mouth so that it's a circular motion. I do it about 4 times. Sometimes I have to do a little bit more if I'm not feeling like I'm breathing properly, if I'm feeling more out of breath at the end of it, then I'm not really grounded. So you just go off of how you're feeling today. If that doesn't work for you, another thing you can do is put your feet flat on the ground and visualize roots going all the way down into the core of Mother Earth. Or you can do both if you feel called to it, and you can just see what makes you feel more grounded and in alignment with your intuition. So I'm going to give you some time now to ground yourselves, and you'll be able to pick your piles if you haven't already. All right, see you all in your card readings. Okay, pile 1, you all chose the etched quartz crystal. Don't know if I really gave you a good look at it. It is in some ways kind of a strange looking crystal, but I just absolutely love it. It has like these little bubbles in it. I just like it so much. Okay, so we'll just put that one right here and we'll look at all the cards you got. So the theme was silence. And then we have full moon in Leo, go wild. We have last quarter moon in Leo, lighten up. We have I am a magnet for money, prosperity of every kind is drawn to me. I balance my life between work, rest, and play. They all get equal time. And we have the shark card. And then the last two from the abundance deck, no more complaining and take divinely guided chance. We can arrange this a little bit better for you all to see. There is a lot of pink and green in this, so right away I'm feeling like you all are in a bit of a self-love is actually healing sort of time. Let's see, a lot of heart healings, but I really do feel like this heart healing is centered around your relationship with self and seeing your own value and your own gifting. Coming into your own is definitely messages coming through, and appreciating and knowing your true value and being open to receiving wonders of the world. This shark card almost just doesn't really fit anywhere. I don't really like it here. Maybe we'll just do something weird and put them sideways or something. There we go. Looks like he's diving out of the water. There's just a lot of different energies going on here, so I'm going to try my best to slow down the messages and get you all the messages that are coming through. A few things I want to comment on right away is, one, it is so cool that full moon in Leo came out as the energy that you're in right now, and then last quarter moon in Leo came out as the energy you're going into. I can't believe they're both in Leo. That's really cool. That came out in a random card pull. And then this silence card here, I am really feeling like this is the energy that you are in right now and you're feeling stuck in as well. So there is a lot of cards about the energy you're in right now. That's a big theme that's coming out for this pile and just pointing it out. So the silence, I see this woman and it's almost like she's been feeling stuck or stagnant for a while, to the point where leaves have fallen on top of her, and she's been there a while. And it's not that you're not doing anything, because I feel like you all are quite busy, but you're almost stuck in the cycles or patterns of certain tasks. Like you're not actually getting done what you want to get done, because a lot of this is talking about heart-centered energy and taking chances, doing new ventures and moving forward. And I feel like for you, you've been feeling like you are just waking up every day and doing very similar tasks, and you're not getting done what you want to get done. And even here where it says, I balance my life between work, rest, play. They all get equal time. This is an affirmation because I believe it's not what you're getting right now. I think you're, for example, if you have kids, I think you spend a lot of time cleaning up after them, taking care of them, and then you're like, oh, I only have a few hours. Oh, but then I have to do some work yet. So then you're doing the work that you have to do, and you have this list of things you wanted to do for your enjoyment that you're trying to move into, or if perhaps you're trying to get into a new hobby or study a new skill, and you're just not finding time for that. And that's showing up here. It's saying like you're just been feeling really stuck in the cycle of life, of your daily life, of the patterns of it. And then the other thing that was catching my eyes, there's these cactuses over here in the bottom of this card, and they kept catching my eyes. Would see the line, but then I would see the cactus. And when I see cactuses, my first impressions is that they're very good at surviving, not so much thriving. They live in really hot climates. They get cold at night. They can make a little bit of water last a really long time. They're very good at minimizing their needs to just survive. And I almost feel like that's the energy you've been stuck in, is I feel like you are taking care of a lot of other people. You have a lot of responsibilities. So it could be children. It could be a lot of responsibilities at work. You might be in management. You might be an accountant or something like that. Someone who people are constantly trying to reach, which keeps you quite busy. And I do feel like you really do take pride in being able to help people and be there for people and be supportive. So I see that your needs are very much on the back burner. Like I was saying, like a cactus, you're just taking the smallest amount that you need to keep going. And then you're doing all these other things. So self-care does feel very applicable for this pile. The other thing I wanted to point out as well that was coming forward was a lion and a shark. They're both seen as very aggressive, strong animals. And that seems really important for this pile. I'm hoping as we go a little bit deeper into this card reading, that aspect will make sense. But for right now, I'm not positive why you got two very strong, perceived as sometimes aggressive or scary animals. So that's interesting. I am a magnet for money. Prosperity of every kind is drawn to me. So I think this is actually going with this pile is really interested in shifting things that they're doing, getting out of this pattern, getting into something new. So when I see this no more complaining, I don't want this pile to think that they have a bad attitude, because I get the opposite. I think your attitude is quite positive. I think you're quite a bubbly, easygoing person, but I think in your head you dread things. I think you can get yourself thinking, oh man, I want to do this, but I have this and this to do, and I'm really tired. And I think to you that could be considered a form of complaining or giving yourself excuses. But with the little self-care that I see that you're having time for, it makes sense that other things that are new, that are like a bigger project, would feel very exhausting to take on right now. So I don't want you to take this card as it's saying that you're like a negative Nancy, or I don't know if they say a negative Nelly or something like that. Don't perceive it as that. I really do see that they're saying they want you to shift perspectives. This has come up in a couple other card readings that I've done lately, where they're saying, remember that you have choices. So if you saw some of those other readings and you're getting this message again, it's just because they're really wanting you to get the reminder again, and really saying this is important about you have a choice. You can say no to some things. It's okay. Like if you take some time to yourself, that is actually a really big thing that you're here to learn, is balance. As you can see the card balance here, it's in big writing. And I'm just seeing that as like a theme, like getting yourself out of this rut that you might have been stuck in, this like cycle, this pattern, being like, well, maybe tomorrow I'll do it. Maybe next week I'll have time. I'll find time another time. I feel like those are kind of words you might use. And here they're really just saying to just realize that sorry, I was just starting to read this. So it says, realize that with your increased confidence and assertiveness, watch these positive affirmations blossom into reality. Take back your God-given power by affirming that you have abundance of choices and freedom. Complaints are affirmation of victimhood, which is never true spiritually. So like I said, I don't think for this pile, the energy I'm getting isn't so much that you are very negative. I just feel like this pile's quite overwhelmed with all the things to do. And they're just saying, remember, you have a choice. You can prioritize this. You can prioritize this thing you're wanting to do. Whatever this is, it's very close to the heart. It's some sort of project. It could be a passion. It can be, like I said, a hobby. It could just be self-care. But there is something here that's really important to this pile that is very close to the heart center. It could even just be, like I was saying at the start, talking about being able to receive back what you're giving out, because this pile is giving a lot out. I do think you are in working with kids or do have kids. This is where I see this take divinely guided chance. I think for some of you, you might not be taking this new venture, this new project as far as you want, because it is new. You have a lot on your plate and you're a little bit nervous, but I do see that there's like a partnership here. Sorry, I'm like looking at these two little angels, and I see all these angels dancing around and two like together, and for some reason those two feel so important. I believe it's talking about you having considered going to partnership with somebody else that you're close to. And it just says, take a divinely guided chance. Like, it really feel like this is part of the thing that you're going to be really passionate about. Maybe right now it just feels like maybe someday that would be cool. But I think that you should actually really follow through on whatever this thing is. Whatever it is, I feel like it feels really good. So it says, all positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories as you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar, but no longer appropriate for you. You make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. Yeah, I should just also add that I feel like there's a lot of things changing in this pal's life. I think that you're still trying to keep up old routines and responsibilities that you had, but you on the inside are a very different person. You're very different. Something has changed about you. You are just new. You want different things now. You want to do different things now, and they're all great. Great things for you to follow through on and venture deeper in and explore deeper. I do believe there's just this need to be pushed a little bit more and to really dive into it and prioritize what you're interested in. And I do think in the end, this is going to be a thing that you are paid for. When I saw this magnet and I see pearl, I kind of just see like your ideas are new. Like, I think whatever it is that you are wanting to explore, if this is this like perhaps business or new, I do think it's job related, like this new project or service you might be bringing in. It's so funny. I feel like in my card readings, I'm always getting people who are bringing new services in. So you guys are a busy group, always creating things that don't exist yet. But that's what I'm getting here when I see this pearl, like one in a million kind of ideas, and that it will be prosperous and will bring financial compensation. But whenever I see that kind of energy come through in a card reading, it often speaks about it being good for everyone. So it's not like a selfish service. Sorry. Having a hard time saying my S's all of a sudden. It's very much in the highest good of all involved. For you, for everyone. So this card just says, I think big and then I allow myself to accept even more good from life. And that's very appropriate because I just get that this pile is so selfless. Sorry. Like I said, I have a weird thing with the S's all of a sudden. I'm not saying my S's right. But this pile, yeah, you're just such caregivers. You're natural nurturers. You're naturally very responsible and accountable. And I think this is why you're having a hard time getting other things done, because you have created this huge list of things that you are responsible for. And I think you almost need to reevaluate it and become a little honest with yourself if you need to be doing all these things, or if someone else can do some of them too. And that's okay. That's okay to have change, and you're so ready for change. Like I was saying, I think inwardly you're a completely different person than you were a short time ago. And I think not everyone in your life realizes just to what extent, because you're still doing all these old things, because you are just a really nice person and you're really just accountable, and you have wanted to keep up with those things. But I do think it is for sure some guidance coming in, that you find some more balance and you reevaluate what needs to be your responsibility and what you can let go of. Let's look at some things here. So actually, you know what? First, let's just read. I think there's a message on the back of this card. So the silence card here. Oh, I also didn't notice that there's a cute black cat hiding in the tree there. That's so cute. Okay. It says, rest your mind. Silence is good self-care. So not overthinking too much. That's actually a really good point. And it always makes me think of meditation when I see this. Being silent. To just sit with yourself and feel and see what's going on, and reevaluating what's important and what to prioritize in your life. What deserves your attention and your energy right now. So something interesting here to maybe point out about the shark and the lion. So how I would see this is, shark obviously lives in the water, so it feels very watery. And then lions, I think typically they're sort of related to in astrology as fire, but in this context I actually get earth energy, and just because it is like a land animal. And it's so interesting because I almost feel like the lion represents your survival instincts, your relationship with fear, which really goes good with like what these cactuses were talking about to me here, where they were telling me about survival and just taking the basic needs. And I really feel like this is talking about you needing to get more grounded, and find more support systems for yourself, because you are support to a lot of people, kids, clients, and even maybe spouses. But I don't get the impression that you have a lot of support for yourself. So I think right now you're in this time where you're battling, basically, how would I put this? You're battling your old habits and your fears about moving forward. I think that's what it is. So old habits, like old accountabilities, old things, the old you, that whatever the old you was responsible for, which like I was saying was a lot, because you're such a natural nurturer, natural caregiver, but it's not really fitting you anymore. You don't have time to keep up all of those responsibilities. And you need more support. So I think if you have a spouse, you're going to come into this phase, and it's so interesting that this card is here. I so love that. Where you, like, if you even see this card, this woman looks like she's just loving the self-care life. If you look here, it's like she's got her hand like this, and I don't think it's a mirror, but to me, I see it as like a mirror, and she's looking at herself and she's looking great. She's feeling amazing, so rejuvenated, energized, and she's in like this hot spring or this tropical forest in a really cool place, and it just feels great. It feels lighter, where this card's energy, the lion, feels distressed. So you in the future, near future, so don't worry there. And I just really think that this is you getting to the point where you're not hitting rock bottom per se, but you're just hitting exhaustion level, where you're like, I need help and I need to basically change what I've been doing. I'm going to let go of these old responsibilities. I'm going to be brave and courageous like a lion and use that fire energy that the lion does normally symbolize, and have these conversations with clients or with with spouses, if that's the case, on what you have the time for and what you need to prioritize for you to be fulfilled and have your cup filled and be in this like good energy, this joyful energy, being in this heart space energy that you so desperately want to be in. Everything here is so heart-centered, and it's because your heart knows what it wants. It's just needing the outside world to align with it with you now, because like I said, I think you've changed quite a bit, and your outside world doesn't completely understand to what extent, and it could just be because of these roles that you have still been fulfilling or doing. So like I said, I'm trying to think of some examples for you, but I'm hoping you have some coming to your mind now. For me, I would just say, like, maybe you always said you could, like, pick up kids at a certain time, or maybe you told clients you could always answer the phone whatever time it was, but now you have other responsibilities. Now you can't answer your phone after 6 p.m. and they're still calling you at 8 p.m. with emergencies, or maybe you want to do a course or a class or see some new clients, and you can't pick your kids up every day at 4 p.m. because you need to be somewhere at 5, or you need to see a client at 4:30 and you need time to get ready. So maybe instead you pick them up every other day, or you find a different system, something like that. So there's some things going on with that around this. And then there is like just needing to prioritize time for you to take on that new project, that new venture that you are so excited to do. And like I said, I think there's a partnership there. So I think you are discussing these exciting business ideas or new ventures with someone, and you want to take off on it. But I think you're just needing some of this responsibilities to essentially go away. And I don't want to say go away because I do get that this isn't something, I feel like you have overextended yourself, and it's something that you took a lot of responsibility on your behalf, but you don't need to be the one taking so much responsibility for that, because I just get the impression that if it's something to do with kids, that your spouse can help out more, but you've just always taken on all the responsibility for that particular area. Maybe it's getting them to a certain sport, or getting them to school, or making them dinner every night. I just get like stuff like that where you feel like that's something you should do in your role, but actually it could be split and it could be shared. And same thing with some of you who have like clients that I do feel like call you all the time, or just need a lot of extra help from you or something like that. They're saying the same thing. Like, it's appropriate to set boundaries and say you can't answer your phone after certain hours because you have a life. You're not going to quite say it like that, but you're just going to say, like, I have other responsibilities that I'm trying to prioritize, so I'm only available from these hours. And that actually feels very just like good boundary setting. And I think that's the other thing the lion is here to say, is the coming in to talk about your boundaries and setting them. Yeah, so very interesting. So I feel like this energy that you're in now, you feel stuck in routine, in old patterns that aren't quite in alignment with you, and they're all centered around home life, finances, clients, career, family, those kind of root system things. And then in this card here, I believe this is just like a change of the energy completely, having balance, not being stuck in only being able to have time to focus on those things and having a lot of fear around them and not feeling supported, and you being the support. And then here I see someone who has the ability to express themselves, to, what's the word I'm looking at? Set boundaries. That's it. Set boundaries, be in a more creative, heart-centered space, be in a more creative space specifically. So if this project has something to do with the arts or creativity, that's definitely for this pile, because this just feels like a way better energy. It feels like they're safe to be honest with their emotions with themselves and others, and this one doesn't have time for that. It just has all its responsibilities. So these cards, although they both are in some ways similar, they are totally different. This energy is very stuck and exhausting, and this energy is light, fun, beautiful, real, happy, creative, joy. So many great things from this card. Okay, I'm just trying to think what else to say here. I'm realizing this card reading might be getting a little bit long for you all. Okay, the shark card, similar ideas with the water energy about being able to set boundaries, being able to express yourself. Sorry, the other thing I want to comment on this card quick before I talk more about that one is this one also does have like a very like romantic feel to it. So I don't know if it's like self-love coming out and feeling good in your body, or if having like, because you can be more honest, say, with your spouse about how you're feeling. And like I said, this energy of like, you're kind of hiding a little bit who you are on the outside to the outside world. And this card feels free. It's easy flowing communication. It's light, and I do get like just like some romance energy, where this one feels like a desert. I don't know how sexy desert is, but it doesn't sound that sexy. It sounds dry. It sounds very dry. And this one here has water in it, which is very wet. And I'm just gonna say that and leave that there. It just feels better. Okay. Anyways, I don't know if that's borderline inappropriate, but that is something I felt like I had to share. Okay, so then, sorry, I think I'm catching the vibe now. It took me almost the whole card reading to understand what was the thing going on with these two perceived dangerous animals. So sometimes a little bit slow on these analogies that they give me. So basically, what I'm getting here is like, to not acknowledge the beast is what can hurt you. Like, does that make sense? Like, I feel like there's this really like this need for you to have a change, and I feel like this is like the emotional body here, the lion. Like, you are such a good person, you're so kind and so gentle, but I feel like if you don't start to get some of those needs met, you're going to explode. And like it's saying, like, this shark is like, I don't believe sharks are as dangerous as they've been perceived to be all the time. But I do get like, they're really, when I see this card, they're really talking about the perceived popular view of sharks, which is fear. You see a shark and it's scary, and it's, you know, like, it's supposed to be destructive and all these crazy things. And I just get that this is your emotional body. If it doesn't get its needs met, is it starting to feel like this thing building up, and it can explode. So the thing here is, it's just saying like, your emotions aren't actually dangerous, but the perceived view is that they can be. Like, you might be afraid of them. You might be scared of going in and being honest about those desires that you really want. Because like I said, I feel like you don't want to disappoint anyone. You don't want to let anyone down is a really big one, I think, for this pile. Like, you took on those responsibilities, you took on that old way of being, but it's just not you anymore, and it's not right for you to keep doing all those things. It's not true to you, and it's not so scary that you've changed. And I feel like this shark is kind of representing the fear of this new version of yourself and other people seeing it, because I think in a lot of ways you're happier now internally with yourself, but you're scared to expose it and have other people really see who you are. So this energy here is very much Don't be afraid to be totally yourself. Because right now you're feeling stuck. You're feeling really, what's the word? I don't want to say captive? Maybe that's the word. Yeah, like, is that what you'd say if like a shark is like circling you and you can't get away? Maybe it's a captive. I don't know. There's a word I can't quite figure out right now, but that's like the energy I'm getting with both these cards. Is like feeling stuck like that. Like you're just waiting for maybe the worst thing to happen, but it's okay to be you. It's okay to be just exactly who you are. Honesty. That is a big theme for this pile. Honesty to share who you are with these loved ones that do love you and do care about you. But I think you're worried that they loved the old you. But I think you're going to see that they still love you. They still love you a lot. And it's so important for you to reveal what's really happening on the inside for you. And what's really important for you, the needs that you really, really need met so that you feel sustained and healthy and good. Okay, believe it or not, I think that's all I have for this pile. I'm not totally sure if I thought that this is where it was all going to go, but it does make sense with the whole self-love theme going on, or that I was picking up on for this card reading. Hopefully that brought some clarity to you all. So really it's just saying follow your heart. If we were going to sum this up as simply as possible, follow your heart and don't be afraid to be yourself, and spend some time really in silence and meditation, and realizing that this version of yourself, your emotional body, your needs aren't this scary shark. They're not scary. They're just you. Okay. If you would like to receive Reiki, it will be at the end of this card reading for the whole collective. If not, I'll catch you around. I'm wishing you the best. Best of luck with any conversations you're going to have. You're going to do great. People absolutely love you. You're not disappointing anyone. You are stepping into the new chapter of you. You're stepping into this new version of yourself, this powerful version, which, like I was saying here, is very like fun, creative, happy, sensual. I think there's going to be more romance. There's more honesty there. There's more easy flow and communication with others because everything's on the table with them. There's no hiding anything. So this feels like a really great energy to be in. Prosperous times, one would say. Okay, you all have a good one, and I will catch you around. Hello, pile 2. You all chose this piece of Labradorite. That there, and let's look at what you all got here. So we have the weight card. You have got some extra Moonology cards here. Trust the universe. Focus on the positive. Step into your power. And then, oof, you actually got quite a few more cards. Okay, so declutter. I'll have to maybe change the camera frame just so you can see these. Ask for your needs to be met. We have elephant. Partnership. Love is all there is, and I do something new or at least different every day. Okay, and let me just change this here so you can see. Okay, pile 2. So just looking at all these cards, these 3 here, weight, the elephant, and the step into your power, all speak about stepping into your own personal creative power and truly coming to a place of understanding it and the power you hold to create your reality. This is definitely Kundalini, manifestation kind of energy these three cards are talking about. Then these three here, declutter, ask for your needs to be met, trust the universe, and actually even partnership. These ones are all speaking of, I think, more of the energy you're in right now, where you're trying to shift the energy that you are in. You're trying to shift the things that are coming into your life currently. So I do believe that you are, like, so I do see like that this person in this card here is symbolically letting go of the need to control, but they're just in the starting steps. Like, they're only like keeping their hand an inch away from like the master button of grabbing it back and being in control of it and feeling more secure that way. Like, the natural human instinct is to want to be in control. And then I do see these cards here as just also talking about that and how to help you release the need to know the exact way things are going to happen, to feel exactly in control of how it will come in. Declutter, if you're wondering why that one's coming up. So I do find that if the energy we're in, as soon as I started speaking, if something else was coming up. So what they're talking about here, they're saying is that if you want something new to come in, you need to make room for it and clear out the old, the things that no longer are aligned with you, the things that no longer serve you. You don't have to just throw it out. You can donate it. You can gift it to others who will find value in it. But it's just recognizing that there's some things that are no longer of value or use to you and getting rid of that. That seems very important. You also might just have a lot of knickknacks in your house. Maybe you have a lot of drawers where somehow everything and anything ends up in them. This is the kind of thing it's talking about. It says get better energy in your house. Get the old stuff, the old stagnant energy out and really create a good feng shui for your house, for your car. If you have an office that you're in that's cluttered, change that out. You want new good energy in. They're saying start with that. That's going to make you feel so much better in the environment you're in. And then this ask for your needs to be met card is so interesting too, because the thing that immediately caught me to it was that this girl is struggling to let go of control. She's like looking at this, like this ball of desire and intention. And usually we could, like visualize a ball like that and then release it to the universe. But I see that she's still got one hand on it where she's like, I'm not sure if I totally am ready to just let go of this completely and offer it to the universe. I feel like I should be doing something. I feel like I need to create action steps and plans to fully be in control of what happens. There's actually a lot of this here of just releasing it to the universe and saying, I'm open to this coming into my life in some way and somehow, being open to miracles, being open to amazing synchronicities. And don't get me wrong, like there is still a role of you having to being open to receive it, saying yes to those opportunities, to those events. But I feel like for this pile, you're trying to hang on to the how. And that's what the universe is talking about, letting go of the how it's going to come in. The I alone have to create a way for this to work out. They're saying let go of that. That's not serving you. But I do see that your energy is going to shift. So I see a lot of this like hanging on. And then here I see this woman who is completely surrendered to it. She's like, I know and trust that the universe will bring me all the right people, all the right opportunities that I need. And all I have to do is say yes and be there and show up and offer what I'm already offering, essentially. So that's really cool to see that come through. And the partnership card, how I was seeing that tie into letting go of the needing to do it all on your own, to be in control about how these things can come in, if they can come in. The thing that comes to my mind is about like finances. Say if you're trying to find a way to make more money and you're thinking, I have to do it, I have to figure it all out. It's just saying, let go of that it's just you against the world energy, and like realize that you are so supported by the universe. You're so supported. I am not saying that you don't have to do anything. There is still that role of saying yes. If someone gives you an opportunity to work a job for them and you'll make a lot of good, what's the word? I get like the word like networking. Like if you'd meet someone there who would then benefit you, then say yes to that. Like those kind of opportunities where I feel like sometimes you've been hesitant about them. They're saying you need to say yes to those. So it says allow healthful, supportive partnerships into your personal life and career, and both parties benefit as a result. You are receiving help from heaven and from a person who brings needed skills and resources. So this one's really big because I think they're saying if you go in with the mentality that you have to figure it out, you won't be open to these great people like this right here. These people that are the key to what you're asking for. You don't have to do it alone. And then I do want to talk about this weight card. I actually get the impression that it's suggesting that you do wait. I'm not too sure what the question is around, but I almost get the impression that they're saying like everything's going to work out. I think what they're saying is wait to make a certain decision about something that's emotionally you've been thinking and contemplating a lot about. And it's saying declutter, ask for your needs to be met, work with the universe, work with these opportunities and things that are coming forward to help you. It says honor your resistance. Sometimes no action is the best action of all. So moving into the energy that you're going to be in, this step into your power card, the elephant card. The elephant talks about coming into obstacles when they're not aligned with you and knowing when the right people, the right situations are in your best interest. And they also are manifestors. So you, I see, are in like phases where you're learning this, but once you master this, you are gonna repeat it again and again. You're gonna be very good at getting yourself to align on the same frequency of what you're wanting to manifest in, of your desires, of the type of life that you want to live, the people you want to have in it. Yeah, it's going to be great. And then I also like how it's talking here. It says, I do something new or at least different every day. And it says, life is never stuck, stagnant, or stale, for each moment is ever new and fresh. This is a big one too for the manifestation, as soon as we get stuck in cycles or feeling stagnant or not feeling in the best vibration, energy-wise or emotional-wise is really the best way to say it. That's when we start manifesting in lower frequencies. Don't worry, there's always forgiveness. We are humans. We are going to have some lows and some highs. But if you're spending most of your time in a more gratitude state, in a higher state, in a loving state, that's going to speed up that for you. So this is really cool. You guys are going to have some fun with this, I think. Really seeing the power that you hold, because 3 cards here is saying that you are going to quite master it. This Kundalini, this manifestation energy. So here it says, love is powerful. Your love and my love. Love brings us peace on earth. Super, super nice. The other thing I want to say about the weight card too, it's so interesting. You kind of feel like it's one of those conundrums where it's kind of saying don't do nothing, but don't try to be in control of everything for this manifestation stuff. Do the gratitude work, do some kundalini practices, do some sacred geometry work. That would be a really good one for this pile. And consciously think of like building like energetic orbs of good intention, of gratitude, of what you want in the to basically manifest in, and release that to the universe and say like, may it all happen in the highest good of all involved, or something like that. Like send it off with like a blessing. And I think this is gonna be so powerful because I see you sending it up in so many of these cards. Focus on the positive. This is also talking about gratitude and keeping the mindset on, not that it had like, sorry, they just showed me an example of, for example, gardening. You plant a seed and say it's like a potato. A potato grows underground. We can look on the surface and we can not know what is going on there. We might think that we have no potatoes growing and that it was all for nothing. And then 100 days later, you have 50 potatoes that have grown. There's so many, but you didn't know because you couldn't see it. It was all happening under the surface. This is what it's talking about here. Don't get worried when you feel like nothing is happening, because it's happening under the surface, under like the veil that you can't quite see, but it is happening. So this is definitely a reminder for this pile, because they don't want you to lose hope, beat yourself up that you haven't done something right, that you're not worthy of something. Everything here is saying, you got this. You are going to master it. You are going to master it. There's like so much here saying you've got this. You're going to master it. You are just literally learning how to do it. And you're going to get it down to a science, I feel like, how to do it. I think you're going to bring in sacred geometry. I think you're going to bring in working with a lot of gratitude, a lot of intentional work. It's going to be a really cool time for you. You're really going to learn some things, and the end result is basically you getting what you've really been wanting, what you have been waiting for. Maybe that's even where the waiting card has come in. So yeah, just a reminder with the elephant though, if you perceive blocks, it's because that's not the right route. Your logical mind might think that's the best way, but the universe and your guides are saying that won't get you to the end result that you want to be at. And yeah, this is such a cool card. I think there's going to be some different phases though. Like I see different seasons, 3 different seasons before this really comes in. So I do think this is going to be a journey where it takes almost a year, 9 months for this pile, for this to really come in. Take timelines with discretion, but I do feel like they're saying there's several seasons or phases before you get to this. So it's cool. There's some things to work on, but like I said, once you get this, once you understand this, this is something, even if it does take a year, you're going to be able to manifest in what you want from now on. This isn't going to be a one-off for you. This isn't going to be luck. This is going to be something that you truly master and know how to do. And I just see it ending with more joyful times, your needs met, better energy, just this passion and this joy in life. And wisdom, so much wisdom. I think this pile has some teacher energy. I also think that when I see elephants, I think of wise elders, great memories, learned from the past, learned from mistakes, learned from their life experience, and are able to share with others. So there's definitely some leadership quality coming in. The other thing I always see with lavender is peaceful time. So it's just saying let go of the need to control and do it on your own, and let a more peaceful state come in. And I know that's easier said than done. So I'm just conveying the message they're saying. And then I also like that there's roses in these cards. Pink roses, like the roses in my garden. I really like that. I do feel like there's also a little reminder to not be so serious and to focus on dance and music and spending time with loved ones. And if you don't really love dancing, I think they're suggesting to do it to get stuck energy out. So specifically actions that would involve moving your hips, a lot of stuck energy in the hips, a lot of stuck old energy in the hips, I would say, for this pile. So really moving that even in the back, I think, too. I feel like it's just been held there. So if you've been feeling called to dance, actually there's a few different things here dancing. Belly dance. Oh, that is such a great idea. If you feel compelled to belly dance, then you should go for that. That would be really good for this pile. It's really good at getting out that old stuff. And I think it's going to make you laugh and feel a bit silly and maybe even a little uncomfortable. And this is all great stuff for change, for doing something new every day. Very cool. Trying to see if there's any other messages. I feel like this pile's like, tell me more. Give me the secrets to how this is going to work out. But they're saying, you're going to figure it out. You'll be amazed. It sounds too simple. We as humans like to complex things, but it's simple. Be gratitude focused. Trust the universe. Know that it's growing under the surface what you want. You just can't quite see it yet. But in the end, it's saying your future is that it will work out. Be patient. It is coming in. Your needs are being met. So make sure you're just not taking no action at all. Like, I actually think like declutter. If you're trying to manifest in a move, don't just sit around and not be ready for moving. Declutter, get rid of the old stuff, clean up your space, because that takes so long. If you've ever moved and you wait till the last minute, you don't sleep for like the 2 or 3 days because you're trying to move all your stuff out and clean things, and you're like, how did I get in this position? Why didn't I start packing earlier? Stuff like that. Getting ahead, getting ready for what you're trying to manifest in is how you can take action, how you can plan for the future. Because I know you like being a little prepared for this pile. You like having a little bit of control, and that's how you can be in control, is by planning and being ready for what you're asking for. Okay, a lot of trust energy here. You know, this wasn't the longest reading, but I think this is all I have for you. So I'm wishing you the best of luck. I see you're going to be successful. I see these things coming in for you. I have no doubt, okay? So you just have to remember the potato thing, okay? It is happening under the surface, and sometimes we can lose a little bit of hope, and that's okay. It's just human, but just remember it is coming in. It is happening. Be prepared. Get rid of the extra stuff. Get your stuff ready for moving. If you need a certain thing, then go get that thing so that you can be ready for what you're asking. Okay. If you would like to receive Reiki, it will be at the end of this whole card reading for the collective. If not, I will see you around. Best of luck. Keep up that gratitude work. Keep up that just positive energy. You've got this. This is coming in for you, and you're going to help other people learn once you figure this out for yourself. Okay, pile 3, you all chose the amethyst cluster, and we'll just move that over. And the passion card. This card has so much going on in it. I don't know if you could notice that earlier, but there's just like all this lightning. There's like this, I just picture like loud piano music, and then there's this dove just like bursting out of the piano, out of the sound. I don't know. It just seems like a very powerful card, very intense card. So let's get into this card reading. Okay, so what do we have here? We have full moon in Virgo. Take inspired action. And then the energy you're going into is this attend to the details last quarter moon in Virgo. I found this in pile 1 where I just think it's super cool how how both cards are Virgo, both cards are the same cycle, and one is the full moon, like in pile 1, and the one is the quarter moon, which is super cool. I don't know, I just find that really neat that it got randomly pulled in that order. Okay, and then next we have successful funding, and we have pay yourself first, and I love and accept my family exactly as they are right now. And lastly, we have the hawk. Okay, I'm gonna just try to shift things a little bit here. Okay, pile 3. So this pile definitely is talking about following your dream job, your dream career, what inspires you, what makes you excited, what makes you love what you do. Like take inspired action, passion, I love and accept. I know this says family, but I'm like, there's so many birds. So many birds are about breaking free, about coming into your new self, into a truer version of yourself, a higher version of yourself. And look at all these birds. Hawk, dove, some other kind of bird. This one even makes me think of bird more so than angel. And it says pay yourself first, successful funding. So some of you who are considering a job or transitioning into a job, I am getting confirmation here. If you're wondering if you should be doing things for free or like trial things or just to get more practice in, I'm getting that you should still be charging something. Maybe it is like a discounted rate or a training rate, or I do feel like you already have some experience in it though. That's definitely what I want to say here, because it's like, as I'm seeing this, they're saying like it's something slightly new from what you're doing, but it's still very much the same. So you do already have a lot of the skill. You're just changing it a little bit, and you do deserve to be paid for it. Make yourself your most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you are paid. This loving form of self-care ensures that you'll have savings to invest in your present and your future. And I do just feel like your like work that you're putting out there is very valuable, and it is helping people. Although you might not totally realize that this might just be something you love doing, it is good work. You are doing great at it, and you deserve to be paid for it. You deserve to be paid for it. I have to keep saying that. Successful funding. This is coming through. Some of you are wondering if it's really aligned with you right now. Maybe I keep getting need more practice. You need to take your time. You're not quite there. You're not quite ready. And I just get that your guides think you are. I see that you are divinely guided and supported by the same infinite wisdom of God that gave you the idea. Do not allow money concerns to prevent you from turning it into reality. Crowdfunding, partnerships, and other investments are available to help you. So I really get that they just want to see you starting to do this and being paid for it. So maybe, like I said, you come up with a solution on appropriate pricing based off of the fact that you are slightly changing into something different, a different form of the work, but you are still offering this service that you would normally be charging for. So it does not make sense to not be charging them at all or charging them a little extra for what you're doing. That's very, very clear for me here. In the hawk card, I really do like this. I just see this as really coming into your own, coming into your version of yourself, this new version of yourself that's powerful, that is, I just get passionate and like really, really inspired and excited about what's to come. Super excited about it. And then this attend to the details card. This is like the future energy. So right now it's telling me that you're still working out how you're going to step into this. You're nervous, you got a little bit of fear, but you really want to do it. There's this fear, but underneath it, you know this is what you want to do. You know you're meant to do this. So I see this as being like getting over the fear, starting to figure out the small details like what you're going to charge, where you're going to work out of, the clients. Are you going to email an old client list? Are you going to set up a new way to get new clients? Are you going to do both? When you're going to offer your old service and the new service together? Or are you just going to offer only the new service now? Okay, so just talking a little bit more about all these bird cards, I do wonder if you have a tendency to feel a little ungrounded and feeling very stuck in your head, like lots of thoughts going through there all the time. And not really being present in the moment. And I do see like here that it's showing a lot of like earth and being outside, going for walks outdoors in the nature, in the mountains and the trees and forests. That would be good because I do feel like you guys can get carried away with your ideas or the things you want to do and you're not really being in body. But I also want to read the guidebook definition for this hawk card because I feel like that card feels so important to this pile. So let me just grab it here. Okay, so it says hawk. Watchful, all-seeing messenger of divinity. The sharp eyes of the hawk watch our every move. This keen-eyed bird has the ability to see every little detail as well as the bigger picture. When this card appears, fate has its eyes on you, and the winds are shifting. It is said that the hawk carries news upon its wings and is sent from divinity itself to deliver it. The message should not be taken lightly. Though it may seem small or insignificant, it will eventually redirect your course. When in balance, sees clearly and intuitive. When out of balance, sees too much, suspicious. To bring into balance, perspective shift. So I think this is really important because it is saying like tides are changing. Everything's changing directions. Like whatever job you're doing, it is changing its course. The hawk card is a really good representation of that, as well as just all these other taking inspired action, doing what you love, following your heart, following the passion and inspiration. That is really key for this pile. They're saying if you have a lot of things in your head about how it's all going to work out, it's saying don't get in the head, just go with what feels good and what feels right. Okay, so let's just read the back of this card here. Passion says, resurrect a childhood dream. Let your passion take flight. Really cool. And on the back of this one, it says, I love and accept my family exactly as they are right now, and I am ready to be healed. I'm willing to forgive. All is well. With this, I believe it's talking about childhood family, parents, and I think this pile has been working on healing their upbringing, but are still focused on it and the hardships they faced through it. And it's just a little thing coming up here because I believe they're saying that things are healing, things are figuring themselves out, and that everything is as it should be right now. And I also do think that it could be talking a little bit about perhaps partnership and kids. Maybe they're not totally on the same page as you with this job shift. They might not just understand it. It might not be that they're against it. They just don't get it. And I just feel like this is a little reminder that they love you, you love them. And with time, I do think everything's going to be in more harmony and things are going to work out a little bit better. I am ready to be healed. I'm willing to forgive. All as well. That feels very powerful. Okay, so I don't have a very long message for this pile here, but overall, just follow your heart. Go with that job transition. Change it into this other newer version that suits you and your new self and is aligned with that. And don't forget to charge people and get the details figured out and all that, but don't feel stuck in the fear or be too stuck in your head. That was the warning with all these birds, is that you can be too in your head about things, and just trust that you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. Like I was saying with the hawk, it's coming in as a huge shift. Like everything's changing for the better. It's a new chapter, a new, more exciting beginning for you that you are so ready for, and the fear can make you nervous about that, but you are doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. So don't question it. Don't wonder if you need to get 20 years of experience first. You are ready now. Your guides want to see you starting, and they want to see you paid for it. And like I said, I think they're saying like the funds will come in. People want this service. You don't realize what you're offering is something people really want. So you're just in this path now, realizing it. And I think once you start doing some perhaps like we were saying, cheaper prices for the first few, because you're just trying to get your feet on the ground and feel more comfortable with it, you're going to see after I think about 3 or 4 that you are so ready for this, that you're understanding it already. And then by the time you get to like 20 people, you are going to seem like an expert. And just trust in that, because I just can see you going so far on this journey and helping so many people. And I do think your family eventually is going to see the value you're offering and understand why this shift was so important for you. So I know that was kind of short and simple, but it seemed really important, and I don't want to overcomplicate it with extra messages, so I'm going to leave it here. You all have a great day. Best of luck with this all. You've got this. You're really destined for it. You really are gifted, okay? So don't doubt yourself. You've got this. All right, hello everyone. Today we're just going to be doing some distant Reiki for the collective. So I am going to read a little intention for you all, and in the meantime you can just take some deep breaths and get yourself grounded, and then affirm or say yes if you would like to receive this Reiki, and it will be about 8 minutes long. All right, we're going to begin. I call upon and invoke to step forward the highest form of source energy, which is love, to step into this clearing and healing, and any guardian angels, the archangels, and any other guides, all in the energy of love and light for the highest good of all involved, to please step forward now and assist in this collective clearing and healing. I ask that the collective is surrounded in peaceful, loving energy during this clearing, and that I remain a neutral, unbiased channel for the highest form of love, source energy, on behalf of the Courageous Readings viewers today. I ask that your spiritual team applies this clearing for you now, or whenever you hear this, and that this be done by the highest vibrational divine energy. I ask that the guides working with you now are aligned, upgraded, and able to support you through this clearing and afterwards on your new path. I ask that the guides that are by your side now are of the highest vibration, wisdom, and love to best bring in this healing for you today. I ask that these guides channel in the wisdom and understanding of the universal truth, the knowledge and remembrance of love and light into your energetic and physical bodies. I ask that this be done, and so it is. Okay, everyone, this Reiki session is completed. Towards the second half, I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the video or not, but my fingers are actually just trembling trying to hold the energy, and they're like lightly shaking. So I feel like that was a well-needed session for some of you. So maybe just take some time coming back to the physical body, drink some water as always, it helps ground you. Eating some food helps, going outside in the garden also helps. But just be a little gentle on yourselves for the next few minutes. And hopefully that helped. I saw a lot of energy going around the heart, so there was a lot of heart walls, or heart armored hearts, I think is the expression I'm looking for. So I didn't want to completely remove that for anyone because that can sometimes make people a bit scared, but I did see a lot of energy working on supporting that so that the armor didn't need to be so thick. As well as grounding, that was a focus in trying to get a lot of you feeling more centered in your bodies. I think that was the main things. Oh, and some crown chakra work as well. So it's like all your odd chakras were a little out of whack. But I think this will help bring them a little more into balance, but just take it easy. And just to mention, if any of you are feeling called to it, you can always re-listen to one of these Reiki healings. So say if you felt like this one, which was working on the heart, the crown, and the root was something you're really needing, you can always listen to it again tomorrow or another day. It's timeless. It's literally just here for the collective to get it as they need it or as they need to receive it. And I feel like that's important for some of you. So yeah, you can totally do that if you've been wondering that. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here. You all have a good day. Best of luck moving forward, and just have a great day or evening, whatever time it is for you. I'll see you all around.